Now, I know a lot of people out there are probably asking, Mo, what is making the Whyte S-150 your favorite enduro bike?
There you go. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, yeah.
What's going on, you guys? Mo Awesome here, still in Marin. So we've been having a really good time, and today's gonna be pretty fun. I actually realized that there's this bike shop called Split Rock. So as you guys can see, Split Rock Tap and Wheel. And apparently it's the headquarters and the demo center for Whyte bicycles. I didn't know too much about this brand before we got here. I've been doing some research. The bikes look really rad. So we're gonna check this place out and yeah, show you guys the bike shop. So let's make our way in. And this place looks awesome. So as you guys can tell, there is brewery, food, all the good stuff. And it looks like they got TV too, so hopefully they're playing YouTube channels. And they got a ton of bikes here on the floor, a service center, and they have this dude. What's going on, man?
What's up, buddy? Mo Awesome, here he is.
And what is your name?
My name's Justin.
Rad.
And I'm one of the co-founders here at Split Rock Tap and Wheel. Not only is it a beer bike shop bar, but it's a showroom for Whyte Bikes USA, a distributor center. All our bikes ship out of here to North America exclusive. If you look around here, we have all the high-end mountain bikes here. We got a full 12 taps, craft beer, Red Bull TV, mountain bike trails, 2 miles away, ready to go.
First question, Whyte Bicycles, what is it?
Yeah, Whyte Bikes USA, it's a Britain brand. It's been around 20 years. Our bikes range anywhere from $3,000 up to $6,000. Our works model, $5,300, gets you full XTR or XX1 Eagle, carbon rims. Not only do you get a pile of good parts, but you got a killer bike. It rides really well. Slack head angles, long top tubes. They're really fun bikes. Plus, you get all the value of it.
We're gonna be doing some testing on this thing. This is the sorry, I'm gonna need some help.
That's the S-150.
Rad, S-150. This is a cool thing. The seat collar is integrated in there. Yeah, and so we got the reverb on there and a pike up front with alloy wheels. The whole thing looks really rad. Carbon frame. How much does something like this run?
Something like that, it's gonna be $4 grand.
Whoa, for carbon frame.
Full carbon frame. All our bikes come with dropper posts, WTB rims. It's kind of cool on this bike, all the S-150s, the S stands for switch, which means you can actually convert it to a 27.5 plus as well. So that bike will run 27.5 plus as well as a 29er. And
it looks like this is his bike. He's got the S-150. It looks a little nicer though.
A little custom there.
A little custom. So we got box suspension with a DPX2 in the rear. And he's got the brakes that I want. I want those XT 4 pistons. But either way, it should be a really fun shred. What are we riding today?
We're gonna ride Solstice. Really fun trail up on Loma Alta. It's about a 2 mile downhill.
Awesome.
With about an hour climb.
Rad. So
you ready for that climb, Mo?
I don't know if I'm ready for that climb, but I'm super stoked to get out there on these bikes. Highly recommend checking out Split Rock. I'll put all of the information in the description of the video. And yeah, let's get after the ride.
How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Okay, so we made it to the trailhead. Looks like we got a little bit of a fire road climb. This bike pedals really well. I'm very impressed by how comfortable the seating position is. I feel just comfortable in this bike already. And I changed my mind. This is not a mellow climb. It got really steep all of a sudden, but the bike's still doing really well. And yeah, very impressed for how much travel it has in terms of climbing. Not much bob, which is really rad. And it gets steeper. So I guess we're seeing how well these bikes climb. This is definitely a good challenge. And like I said, climbing really well. Very impressed. Sweet, so it looks like we got to the beginning of the downhill, and let's see how this bike really does. Oh man, I did not expect that corner. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh wow. Ooh, nice and chunky. Make our way through. really trying to just pick my line and not clip a tree with my head. A lot of low overhanging trees. Oh yeah. So dope. Dude. Yeah, this bike is so stable. Where did you go? Alright. Oh wow. Okay. Oh yeah.
We are back from our ride. I have to ask you, dude, where'd you get that jersey from? It looks rad.
Yeah, thanks. I actually designed this myself. It's called the Navajo jersey by Mountain Apparel.
And that's your company?
Yes, it is. Yeah, Mountain Apparel.
All right, I'm gonna put a link in the description. Oh, whoa, really?
Now it's time for beer.
We had the Mountain Mafia Apparel, man. We got different designs, man. You can get all this online.
Look at this. I love the enthusiasm too. You guys are
all your biking needs.
crushing it.
It's 2017.
Said, you guys honestly highly recommend checking out Split Rock. The apparel, the bikes, white bikes, everything super rad here. We're gonna get some grub and yeah, we'll see you guys on the road. All right, so the guys over at Split Rock are so awesome. And if you're in the Marin, Fairfax area, highly recommend checking out Split Rock and White Bikes as well. Going into this, I didn't really know what White Bikes was. And I mean, I can't believe I haven't known about that brand all these years because those bikes are incredible. And I'm definitely gonna say that that white bike, the S-150, is probably in contention for one of the best bikes I have ever ridden in the 29 Enduro spectrum. So let's start off with the climbing. And this is where I was really blown away because going into this, just knowing it's a brand from the UK, the bikes I feel like are designed for the Pacific Northwest, somewhere where it's a little bit rootier, rockier. They definitely have that aggressive nature. So I was expecting there to be a lot of bob in the initial stroke, similar to YT bikes. When I demoed that YT Capra, I definitely felt like even though very fun on the downhills, active suspension design, the initial stroke tend to bob a lot. And so going into this, expecting the bob, didn't get it. I was truly blown away by how efficient that suspension design was on the climbs. And it was just like I could put all of that power down. I could stand up out of the saddle, I could sit down, and it just accelerated up. So really blown away by how that thing did uphill. The seating position was very comfortable. I felt like the seat angle was nice and steep. I was on top of that bottom bracket, putting all of that power down. When I got out of the saddle, even though I felt like the bike did have a little bit of a longer chainstay, it didn't feel like the Mega Tower. So the Mega Tower was very comfortable seated climbing bike. So anytime you got out of the saddle, didn't really feel like its strength lay there. I felt like with the Whyte S-150, I can get out of the saddle, put that power down, and still feel comfortable in terms of like a standing up pedaling position. So very impressed by that thing on the uphills. The only where I could probably see a little bit of drawbacks was if we were to climb anything with a little bit of a like switchback style climb. That's the only place where I felt like that rear end definitely felt just a tad longer than other bikes in that same category. And so I would feel like switchback climbs wouldn't necessarily be its strength. But so now for the downhills, and I was expecting this bike to be very impressive on the downs, but I wasn't expecting it to blow me away that much and for me to just love the overall feeling of that bike. So it was the perfect combination of stability as well as nimbleness. And I truly felt like the faster you went on this bike, the more stable it got. There was very little traction on that trail, but the bike held its own, definitely kept me safe. Another thing, I felt like it was very balanced. So with some bikes, they tend to overcompensate with reach, so that front end of the bike ends up being really long with a really short chainstay, and that's a really fun design. I think my Firebird 29 is in that same category. With this bike, it felt very well balanced in terms of it had a stability from the reach. It also had a little bit of a longer rear end, but at the same time, it wasn't super long to where I lost all that nimbleness. And that suspension design, it definitely felt very active, but at the same time, it still retained that poppy, playful nature you want from a bike on the downhills. The only drawbacks I could say for the downhills is, when I said earlier, the faster you push this bike, the more fun everything got. I definitely thought that similar to a bike like the Yetis. Whenever I used to ride like the Yeti SB55 or the SB150, I've ridden both those bikes. I've enjoyed both of them. them, but those are two bikes, and I would say Yeti bikes in general tend to be, you definitely need to push them on the trails for like their true colors to really come out. And I felt like the S-150 was in the same category. So that was also something that I did notice with the S-150 is the faster you went, the more fun it got. And if you're the type of rider who you just want to go have a ton of fun on the downhills, but you're looking for something very efficient to get you up the hill, highly recommend the S-150. Now, I know a lot of people out there are probably asking, Mo, what is making the Whyte S-150 your favorite enduro bike, or up there on that list? And while I'm not going to say that the Whyte S-150 was the best bike I've ever ridden, it's definitely in contentions, and I would say it comes down to that combination, that checklist that I look for in bikes. So number one, is it an efficient climber? Yes, very efficient climber. Number two, can it handle really gnarly terrains on downhill? Because it doesn't matter how efficient you get up, if your bike can't make it down and you're an all mountain enduro style rider, so you're not going to have much fun. And the Whyte S-150 was a blast on the downhill. So you got that combination there where efficient climber, really fun in the sense. The next thing that kind of comes to mind for me is price point. That combination there of efficient uphill, stable on the downhills, and price point, I definitely think shoot this Whyte S-150 to the top of that list. Really affordable package in terms of builds, really cool company, and I don't know, I'm very pumped on the Whyte S-150. I thought it was a really awesome bike, but at the same time, like, there's a wide variety of bikes right now to choose from, so much good bikes out there, but this is just another one to throw onto the list. I would say go to Fairfax, demo one, get some beer, and just talk to those awesome guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. What do you guys think of Whyte bicycles? I'm curious about your guys' opinion, and until next time, you guys, ride awesome. You!